Who draws?
Okay, Lori, let's take a look at your little squirrel here. Let's start off with I always start with a gesture. And a gesture just kind of sets in motion kind of like what I'm looking at. Just gives me a quick overview that I could start to work from. So there is a very simple gesture, and his tail's going to come way over there. Okay? So here we go. Let's go ahead and look at his head. Now, usually with most animals, you could start off with some type of sphere or an oval. And similar to when we draw like a portrait, we always look at the 2D axis, then the 3D, and then the face placement. So on this case, the axis of his head is kind of in this direction, and it's turning towards us. So let's just kind of put this idea that his head is turning towards us. And if I look at the top of his head, it kind of comes out straight. You see this? And we have this kind of motion going. If I look at the back of his head, we have some ears that are coming there, and another one as well. Placement of his eye is going to be somewhere right around here. Let's see, it's a little bit more up front, and I'm getting this position. Let's show you a guide here. I'm looking at where his ears are lining up there, and I'm also looking at horizontally where his eye is lining up. You see that? So you're actually you're not too bad with your location on that.
Hi, my name's Kurt. I'm a dad who draws. I'm so glad that you're watching this video. Do you ever wonder if you'll ever get past being a beginner? Or do you just lack confidence in your drawing? Well, I've designed a class specifically for you, and it's right here next to me called the Beginner's Workshop. Just click the link below in the description and we'll get you right in. And the best part, it's free. I'm a dad who draws. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up. All right, we'll see you in the studio.
Okay, so let's see. Back ears here. Okay, we got his little eye there. Now, thing is, I could see on his head that slightly we could see the other eye, or at least the part of his skull that would show us where his other eye is. Okay, we got his little nose coming in there. Front is coming down here, and then if I look at this distance, this is the next thing I'm looking at. I'm looking at this distance. Oops. I want to make sure I'm on the right layer. Okay, so I'm looking at this distance. I'm thinking like, okay, I'm judging that distance to all the way down there. So it's almost, in my mind, it's almost twice, okay? So I'm judging that half. Okay, I'm going to be somewhere around here. So let's get the bottom of his lips there, right? And then his head is going to come all the way down here. And then, watch this now, his back of his ears coming around. And it's coming from behind his head. See, you would get the sense of overlap right here. And that sense of overlap is going to tell us that this ear, which I'm going to finish drawing right now, is in front of the back of his head. You see that? And where's his other ear? Okay, his other ear is coming out. And what I'm looking at in my mind, I'm looking at this little oops, I keep grabbing the wrong color. I'm looking at this negative shape. So that's kind of that's the shape I'm going to try and use in the placement of his next ear. You see that? There it is right there. And then this is going to come around. All right, excellent. Now, next thing is I'm going to look at his body here, and based upon his head, I'm going to just use my eye. Just use my eye now, and I'm going to show it to you. I'm like this distance, and then I'm thinking, all right, so it's one head, maybe two heads, maybe 2.5 heads, okay? So let's see, one head, and I could already tell that my my sketch here is, I made my head too big, so I'm gonna have to adjust a little bit. And he's standing pretty tall there, so we got that. Look at that, look at this negative shape here. It goes from, you see this? I'm gonna start to draw. As soon as I draw it, you will see it. You see, I'm looking at that negative shape. That's going to help me determine then this mushroom that he's holding. Again, this mushroom, how far is that mushroom coming down now? Let's see. 1, 2, it's about, I'd say it's about right there. That would be my guess. So let's just rough that in. Okay, great. Let's see, coming down now, we got that. Let's look at this arm. This arm, I love this arm that's going. So we could piece this arm in a different parts. Let's first look at the part that's coming from his shoulder. You could see that coming around here. And it's big, you see that? Like this. And then right here at his elbow, where does his elbow line up? It's like right behind his nose, you see? And then this is going to come up, and I'm going to use this negative shape here. Okay, so that hand is going to be right about there in that negative shape. And this is the elbow, and you see the elbow is sort of lining up right behind the nose. All of these marks that I'm showing you in green are actually, if I wasn't showing somebody, I would be thinking them in my mind, okay? So this is coming down, and then we're going to come up. And then let's just quickly gesture this hand in, okay? So we're just doing something like this, something like this, something like that. You see that? We get a little bit of a hand there, okay? And then this is going to come all the way down.
Whoa! Hey, if you're liking this
his
video,
shoulder.
go down there and give me a thumbs up.
Add some marks
got
right there.
this.
Okay, excellent. And I'm just going to put some of these little fingernails he's got going here. Now, one thing I did, and I did this with intent, is I'm going to show it to you on another layer here, is right here. You see that? Let me show you what I did. So with that, when I drew this hand, I came up and then I stopped short. You see this? And I made it an overlap. That right there tells me that hand is coming in front of the arm. These little subtle overlaps are really important. Especially they'll come into importance when you are drawing the human body at some point, which I have high hopes for you to do that, to be a pro there. All right, now here's an interesting thing, is he's turning his shoulder towards us, but we're seeing the bottom part of his body we see the bottom part of his body facing us. So let's kind of make that let's make that determination here. Okay. And I just want to make sure I don't make this too long here. And then we got a leg coming over here. Okay, now this is interesting. Look at the negative. As I was just drawing this, look at the negative shape here. Look at the negative shape. You see that? And this leg lines up almost with that outside part of the mushroom. So let's look at this now. We're going to come down. Okay, we've got this. Look how much more wider his body is than I had it going. And then, of course, let's just make sure that this leg is coming out far enough. Okay, and then we've got this lovely orange carrot here. And I'm just going to add some surface lines. Some greenery over here. And then let's get this tail in. So let's just kind of look at, I'm just kind of gonna rough this in here. Big bushy tail, you see that? And I'm using the surface here to indicate it's using surface lines in the direction of his hairs to create some volume here. And let's put a tone into this whole thing. Okay, here let's add some hairs to the back of this. And I'm going to overlap a little bit there. And then I'm going to add just a little bit of tone to his fur because I want that white underbelly to show off. Okay. We drew mushrooms on Monday in the daily draw, so I better be a pro at drawing mushrooms, right? Okay, look at there's some tone here in this mushroom and it kind of falls out there. Yep. That's it. We got some. Okay. All right, and there you go. So I think lesson learned from this, or some ideas, is to, when you're going to draw any type of animal's head. First, just like if we're drawing a portrait, think of the 2D, 3D, and then the placement of the face. All right, so in this case, his head is leaning back. It's coming forward towards us. You see this? And the placement of the face, he's going off in this direction. Okay? And then I'm looking for general straights and angles. And then lastly, when you're measuring and trying to figure out where to line things up, use vertical lines and horizontal lines. I don't use horizontal lines as much, but we used a horizontal line to line up the eye with the ears. And then of course use negative shape to determine the right distance of things.